economic opportunities and tourism. We've already deliberated and considered vote 12 previously. We are now going to deliberate and consider vote 3, which is the Provincial Treasury. Colleagues, the committee meeting rules are as usual. We are online, we are live. I will allow for members to introduce themselves first, and then I'll allow the Minister and the HOD to do introductory remarks, after which I will table the respective vote pages, after which we'll have questions and answers, and after which I'll allow for anyone from the public who have any questions to ask questions should they have any. Colleagues, members, if you can just please introduce yourselves first.
Andrikus van der Westhuizen, member of the committee.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, Chair, colleagues. Dalen Mitchell.
Thank you, Member Mitchell. And with that, I'm going to hand straight over to the Minister and the HOD for introductory remarks.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. We're obviously here to discuss the second adjustments budget, where Provincial Treasury is required to absorb a budget cut of 38.4 million rand, which means that our total budget, which was 345.2 million rand, is reduced to 306.8 million rand. Despite, I think, the difficult environment and also the fiscal constraints, I think Treasury has, under the circumstances, done an outstanding job on the fiscal side, delivering a main budget, and this year, unusually because of the pandemic, 2 adjustment budgets, not 1 adjustment budget. And then, of course, on the governance and asset side, I think we've delivered a procurement disclosure report, and there have been some incredibly interesting innovations in the SCM environment. With that, through you, Chair, perhaps I would hand over to the HOD and the CFO for the presentation.
Thank you, Minister, and good afternoon, Chairperson and members of the committee. Yes, it's been a very challenging year for the Provincial Treasury. I think it's tested the resilience of our systems and our capabilities to the limit. But I think as a management team, we are very comfortable that in fact the Treasury continues to grow and strengthen its systems through this period, which is very, very encouraging. That's not to say it's not without its challenges. I think, you know, as vote 3 and the department, we have to take special care that what we ask of other departments in terms of revisions to their budgets, we lead the way ourselves. And this has been, you know, a point of principle for us as the Treasury, that other votes in the provincial government are being asked to make significant downward revisions, and we're going to walk that path with them as a department. So, as the Minister has said, we've made fairly significant adjustments, both in the first adjusted budget, a revision of 11.6 million rand, and then the second adjustments budget a further revision, as he has indicated. Chairperson, we have a full team, obviously, from the Provincial Treasury here today, and we do have a presentation that can talk through the specifics of the adjustments and what they mean for the vote. And the CFO will talk in some detail on elements of that. But I know you'd asked for opening remarks, and I don't want to abuse your kindness there. So should I stop here, or would you prefer us to dive right into the detail?
Mr. Savage, how many pages is the presentation?
It is I think there are about, let me see, 10 slides.
Okay, I will give you 13 minutes up until 2020. 1220, sorry.
Okay, it's very difficult. This is we love our work in the Treasury, so it's very difficult for us to keep brief. But we'll do our best. Absolutely.
13 minutes. Thank you.
I could ask Anna Marie to please bring up the presentation. Anna Marie, are you able to do that? Thank you. This graphic, I think, just summarizes what we already know about the overall decrease in the vote. As members will have heard yesterday, a lot of this is being driven by compensation reductions, and that indeed is the lion's share. If you go to the next slide, Anna Marie, of the reductions to our baselines. These are based on revised projections on the filling of critical vacancies, but unfortunately as well, a delay in our ability to take on new pay interns, particularly in this period. We're very serious about talent management in the Provincial Treasury, and we have a number of related internship programs, including the pay interns. But what we know about internships is it's not just a job where someone's sitting at home. There has to be mentoring, supervision, and training, and that's been very difficult in this environment to perform remotely. So we've taken a decision that new pay interns who we can't induct into the department, it would be unfair and inappropriate to bring them on board in this environment. Because we're not going to be able to give them the support that they're going to require to really benefit from the program as a whole. So that has been delayed. That does lead to some compensation savings. We've also had a decrease in the number of new graduates from March 2021. That's due to some deferments that have been granted from our side, and then of course the standard across the board removal of provisions for COLA and performance bonuses. There have been some reductions in goods and services expenditure, relatively minor. They are due to delays in our procurement reform initiatives, and also on our post-audit enhancement tools in programs 3 and 4 respectively. These are important procurements for us, but it's important to get them right as well, and they are quite complex. So we were delayed because our team has had to work in a very focused way on disaster-related issues, and we obviously haven't wanted to distract them from that. The third area is around transfers to municipalities, and as you will recall from the beginning of the year, the department is undertaking a systematic review of transfers to municipalities, both from the vote and across the province as a whole. This remains work in progress. There have been, I'll come and touch on issues in a little bit. Just with respect to compensation of employees, if we go to the next slide, we've made really quite significant progress in filling critical vacancies in the department. We now have 2 full-time deputy director generals in place, up and running. We've got an additional chief director on the local government side. There will be another chief director appointed very soon. But we still carry a number of vacancies at other levels of the organization, and unfortunately those are not critical functional areas for us. On supply chain, on the budget, local government finance and infrastructure, it's very difficult to fill vacancies, not only in the lockdown, but because of the specialist nature of the skills that we require. So we do have a dedicated program, and it is starting to have impact in this. But really filling these vacancies is a singular focus for us at a management level. If we go to the next slide, on the transfers and subsidies issues, these changes to transfer transfers to municipalities have really been about us, the Provincial Treasury, seeking to have greater impact with the resources that we have available. The critical shift that's coming out of the review, and it's not quite finalized yet, is there's fragmentation and a focus on too great a focus on inputs. And so we're spreading small amounts of money right over the province, and we're not getting the impacts. In some cases, that calls for us to rather provide support in kind rather than in cash. And so we are repositioning some of the resources that we had not yet allocated but are intended for municipalities so that we can provide in-kind support to municipalities, because that's what they're asking us for, whether it's on revenue management and so forth. It's not the money they want, it's the skills, it's the expertise, and so forth. So there are revisions to these grants. This is going to remain a live issue coming through to the next financial year, that will not impact on our efforts to strengthen good governance and service delivery to citizens in the province. In fact, the scale of our engagements with municipalities through this year has actually risen as we've shifted to an online environment, and that's been very, very successful for us. So I just wanted to confirm that as the Provincial Treasury, we're not backing away from targets that were set in our annual performance plan. In fact, we're finding new modalities to deliver on those targets, and the opportunities that have been created by the lockdown and forcing us to find new ways of engaging have actually been productivity enhancing for us as the Treasury. When we come back for the 21 MTEP, we'll talk to the committee much more around the strategic repositioning that's underway in the Treasury to make sure that we're resilient, strategic, and can play a leadership role going forward in the challenges that are facing. Anna Marie, I don't know if you want to just very quickly talk through each of the programs in terms of where the reductions are found in each of the vote.
Okay, thank you very much, HOD, and good afternoon, the members of the committee and colleagues. Yes, I just want to quickly go through some of the highlights on the different programs. So you'll see within program 1, the total adjustments for the second adjustment estimate is 2.9 million. On compensation, we decreased the compensation to 3.483 million, and goods and services increased by 6.229 million. Transfers and subsidies to household reduced by 762 million. Capital assets increased by 938 million, and payment for financial assets increased by 39,000. The next slide. Just want to go down. This next slide just gives us an indication of the major reductions, as well as then the additions in the adjustments estimate. So the first, I think just to mention that we made provision for the procurement of video conferencing facilities. I think it's quite important, I think in the environment that we are currently in, video conferencing facilities is very important. Then we've also made provision for additional consultancy services related to the Treasury brand, as well as business process re-engineering, and those are all part of our ICT e-vision priorities, and then also for the replacement of obsolete computer equipment. Going on to program 2, you'll see there's a net reduction of nearly 20 million. I think the HOD has spoken to the reduction in transfers and subsidies to municipalities, about 10 million rand, and as well as compensation, 9.9 million, nearly 10 million rand. This is just a summary of all the major reductions. And then also the shifting, as I've indicated there was a shift from the economic classification from the transfers to consultancy services to appoint service providers to assist municipalities, stressed municipalities. And then also there were some internal shifts, and also amounts that was surrendered to the Provincial Revenue Fund on the infrastructure development, as the structure has not been approved yet by the DPSA. Going on to Program 3, there's a 7.8 million net reduction, 5 million on compensation and 2.6 million on goods and services. Going on to the detail, you will see there's quite a number of the major reductions, but I've also indicated that there was a shift from Program 4, 1.5 million, to also assist municipalities with regards to asset management, and then 1.185 million was surrendered to the Provincial Revenue Fund on proviso that it will be reallocated in the 21-22 financial year. It is due to the delay in the e-procurement solution. Then going on to Program 4, 13.7 million net reduction, 2.6 million on compensation, 989,000 rand on goods and services, and 10 million on transfers and subsidies, also related to the grants to the municipalities. Just the slide gives you the major reductions. And then also that, as I've indicated, received 2.9 million as from the financial municipal support grant. So it's just a shift from Program 2 to Program 4. And then 1.5 million, as I've indicated previously, was shifted to Program 3. And then there's a surrendering to the Provincial Revenue Fund on the financial support capacity grant, as well as the good governance grant, and then 585,000 rand will be is also surrendered on the proviso, the same as I've indicated in Program 3, on the proviso that it be reallocated in the 21-22 financial year for the post-audit tool. That brings me the end to the presentation. I think there's still 2 minutes left. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was just about to tell you how impressed I was. It's an old trick that a director at Stellenbosch University taught me to always ask for 7 or 13 minutes instead of 5 or 10. But anyway, Minister, is there any other remarks you would like to add?
No, Chair, I think that we've done a good job of summarizing the adjustments budget, and I'm delighted that we didn't take 13 minutes.
Wonderful. Members, with that, do you have any questions? The pages of the budget is page 35 to page 53. Those are tabled now for questions. Going once. Going twice.
Sorry, Chair.
Honourable van der Westhuizen.
Good day, Chair, and good day. Can I just ask, it's in table 3.2, and let me just get that page number 37. There's provision of 3.4 million for provision for the procurement of video conferencing facilities. And my impression of this table, and I'm sorry, but we didn't have a lot of time to go through the pages, and we need to follow this on the computer because of the blue book was not delivered to us. Am I correct? This is an additional expenditure or new expenditure that you want to undertake, which I can understand in terms of the emphasis now on working remotely, and I also hear that I deduct that this can be used in future for the support given to local governments, etc. But 3.4 million does seem quite a significant amount for such a facility. Can we just hear a little bit more about what is envisaged for this, and why such a high figure? What informed that estimate or that provision? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? If none, I'll throw mine in now as well. I wanted to find out on page 46, there is an indication that there was prize money given to learners for a school essay writing competition. It was 43,000. I wanted to know how many learners won the prizes and what the essay writing competition was about and which grades was it for. And then finally, on the same page, 50,000 Rand was awarded to Pandulwazi High School for prize for better performing school in economics, accounting and mathematics. And I just wanted to find out if we can get more details on this specifically, please. Thank you. Minister and HOD, I'll leave it to you for who will be answering which questions.
Thank you, Chair. I'll leave it to the HOD and team.
Great, thank you for the questions. On the video, I will ask our team, Anna Marie and I think Isaac Smith, if I'm not mistaken, to respond on the prize awards questions. Chair, there are two related programs there that are part of our broader talent management strategy, and so there's a kind of interlinked program there that we can explain. On the video conferencing facilities, this is not one facility. That would be an extraordinary amount for a single facility, and prices are coming down. It's a number of them. Basically from what our research has shown is that most organizations are shifting away from a single large facility into multiple facilities so that you can have multiple events going on simultaneously. And that's certainly, as we move to a sort of hybrid working environment, what is going to happen in the Provincial Treasury. So it's the smaller boardrooms that are going to be able to connect both to staff who might be working at home, but also simultaneously to a external client interface, such as a municipality or another department in the provincial government. So there are 5 that are part of this. These are the costs, and it's based on a cost estimates that were given to us through CEI and related to CETA procurement. Obviously, the CETA procurement system, obviously, if we can get them cheaper, we absolutely will. The initial facilities are targeted for a number of the smaller boardrooms in the department, as well as one quite critically for the ministry, because the ministry is spending quite a bit of time in a variety of different fora, projecting obviously the image of the Western Cape, whether that be with the business and investment community, or whether it is with in our intergovernmental fora, which are quite critical. And so we want to make sure that the appropriate corporate image is represented there. The same goes for a top management facility, and then it is sort of one per program to start with. There will be obviously interchangeable use of the facilities as we go forward. So the initial target is that 5, and I think the costs are certainly based on the estimates that we have as part of the shift to more hybrid models of work. But Anna Marie, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that. We may and then also on the chairperson's questions on the learner prizes and the high school award and so forth, and then Isaac, if you would come in as well then.
Good afternoon again. Now, I think the HOD has covered the question on the video conferencing adequately. As I've indicated, it is just a cost estimate. It was done in collaboration collaboration with CEI, but we still need to go out on a tender process. So as the HUD has indicated, it could be less, but as I've indicated, it was based on the projections or estimates provided by CEI. On the question on the essay writing competition, yes, this has been a competition that has run for a number of years. It was between Treasury, Nedbank, and the Department of Education. So as part of the curriculum for the grade 11 economics learners, they need to write an essay, and the best essays are entered into the competition, and the prize that they obviously for the winners of the competition, they get a bursary to study in the field of economics, accountancy, and then we also give the prize money, and the donation on that schedule on page 46 is the prize money to the different learners. So the first three winners, they get a certain amount, and then the others that participated also get a certain amount. I don't have all the information on what is the exact prize money for each of the winners, and then we can provide that, but that is just as an incentive and a thank you also to the participants, even if they don't go through for the to get the bursary. Linked to that is a part of that process is also giving, also in collaboration with the Department of Education and Nedbank, the schools, the best performing schools in mathematics, accountancy, be given 50,000 rand, and this is our contribution for the best performing school. But it is also the criteria is set by the Department of Education, and then they provide us just with a list of the winners of the best schools.
Thank you so much. Members, are there any follow-up questions? Going once, going twice. If none, are there any members from the public on our MS team at the moment who would like to ask questions? Going once, going twice. I would also like to just, before I forget, note, in the previous meeting, I noted that Honorable Nkondlo and Makamba Bocha submitted apologies, but I forgot to reiterate it because we had to leave the previous meeting and come into this one. So I just want to indicate those apologies as well. But with that, thank you to the Minister and to the department. And thank you so much for all the hard work Team Finance has put into the budget, and for assisting the departments, and for having to make very difficult decisions in a very difficult time with a global pandemic. I cannot imagine what it must have been to not only look for cuts in one's own budget, but to advise other departments as well. And based on the public wage bill impact it has on the various votes, we can see it vote after vote today, what that particular impact has on the programs that had to be cut. Minister, any final remarks?
No, Chair, thank you for those kind words. We thank the committee for the opportunity to present and their time. And certainly, I'd like to echo your remarks and compliment the department on the absolutely outstanding work under the circumstances. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You may now be excused. The members will continue with its business on the deliberation of the vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Members, while the officials are leaving us, or if they would like to stay, they're also welcome to do so. It is a public meeting. Please could I get your views on the particular vote? Members? Member van der Westhuizen?
Chair, I propose that we support the vote.
Thank you, Member.
I second that proposal, Chair.
Thank you, Member Mitchell. Any other views? If none, Ms. Adams, can we put up the report? Thank you. Can we just enter then the view of the vote and just make it a little bit bigger for me, please? So that I don't have to squint. Okay. So members, it will read the report of the Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism on Vote 3, Provincial Treasury in the schedule to the Western Cape Second Adjustment Appropriations Bill P7 2020 dated 27 November 2020. Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism reports that it has concluded its deliberations on Vote 3, Provincial Treasury in the schedule to the Western Cape Second Adjustments Appropriation Bill P7 2020, referred to the committee in terms of Standing Rule 188 and that it supports the vote referred to it. Members, are you in support of the report as it's written?
Support, Chair.
Support.
Thank you. I heard Member van der Westhuizen and Member Mitchell. With that, the report is adopted. Members, thank you so much for your engagement today. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Goodbye.